from the stream.
The stream is live. That's what it first said.
See, it's live. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see right now if is it live on Instagram? Am I live on Instagram too?
No.
Yeah.
I see on YouTube.
YouTube is good.
Instagram, no, not yet.
Instagram, not yet. All right, home. Let's see. Create live video. Public. Next.
Hold on.
Let's see.
Yeah, Instagram is not yet.
Let's see.
I'm not too sure that StreamYard streams to Instagram.
It's showing the option.
It's giving you? Oh, it's probably new.
You are live. It's saying you are live on Instagram. Once you're live, if your stream is public, you'll find it at the top of your feed on Instagram.
Do you like a link? Yeah, it's not showing up. Did you link your Instagram?
Yeah, it's linked.
Mm.
All right. Yusuf, you check Facebook, by the way?
I'm checking right now. Facebook.
Okay. Well, either way, welcome everybody to season 3, episode 23 of Oz Media's The Movement podcast. We are officially live and ready to get this show on the road. Looking forward to a great show today. We have Salaudeen today as our guest. You know, as you can see also from the screen, we have Yusuf T and Hamza T in the building as well. Looking forward to, again, another great show. Yes. So there you go. There you go. Yusuf, I think he's checking on Facebook right quick.
Yep.
Facebook is good, you said?
Yeah.
All right. So we're live right now on Facebook and YouTube. We tried to get Instagram as well, but we'll see how that works out. With that said, you know, today's topic is about Islamic Games. This is a something that Salaudeen and his team started. Looking forward to hearing all about it. I think it's really awesome. We kind of were talking about it before the show, and now we're going to talk a little bit about it during the show as well. First, be sure to follow us on all of our socials. You have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all under Oz Media. You can listen to the show later on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. Shout out to our sponsors, the Balkan House, Juice Box, Qahwah House, BC Adhesives, Specialty Medical Center, Hanley International Academy, and Sidr Bees. We appreciate them and all of their support as well. With that said, first of all, I just want to say hello to everybody. Say how you doing. Check in with the guests. Let's start off with the guest, Salaudeen. How are you? And can you let people know where you at right now? And just tell us a little bit about yourself and what is it that you do?
Hey, assalamu alaikum, brother Oz. Oz, you know, Omar.
Yeah.
And the Tabut family, you know. I'm glad that you guys are doing incredible work here. You know, in preparation for this show, I looked at your previous podcasts, and alhamdulillah, they're very healthy, good discussion. The one on the youth, you know, the old versus the new, I thought was pretty good, because you were able to say, hey, in as much as there's an old school and a new school, there's got to be a collaboration between the two to have the right balance, you know, to have the right success. So congrats to you guys for an incredible show that you guys are doing every week, you know, or however often you're doing it, you know. And I'm glad that I'm invited here to share Islamic Games and what we do and that kind of stuff. I'm currently in Orlando. I live in the Orlando area, and I grew up in New York City, and I grew up in a very sports-oriented family. You know, my dad was a professional athlete. All my brothers, you know, were in different sports, whether it's cycling or track and field or basketball, no soccer. But we had quite an array of athletes in our family, and we, of course, part of our legacy and of what we wanted to do was always to do organized sports for the Muslim community, and the Islamic Games is part of that. And maybe we can go into it deeper, but I just want to say again, thank guys for having me on here, and I look forward to the discussion and sharing a lot more about Islamic Games in the next few minutes or so.
For sure, for sure. Thank you for sharing that. And Yusuf T, we'll go with you, man. How you been? And last week we had the Hamtramck versus Dearborn charity basketball game. So we had no show because obviously we all needed a break. We needed a breather. So Yusuf T, how you been since then, man?
Yeah. So first things first, alhamdulillah for being here. Thanks for everybody for showing up. And just want to speak on the charity game real quick. Great event. We raised, how much was it? 26, how much?
Yeah, a little over 26,000. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. It was a great event. And yeah, I'm doing fine. Ready for the show and ready for it to continue moving on with the Oz Media.
Thank you, Yusuf T. And then we got Hamza T. I got to give a shout out to Hamza. So Hamza probably didn't watch a second of the basketball game, all right? And I'm not going to lie to you. I get feedback, and we're going to get more feedback tomorrow when we do our Fantasy Guys sports show because, we're going to do a recapping of the game. But one thing that I got from people was them boys that were behind the concession stand were working. And shout out to Hamza because he was one of them. He was the lead man in charge back there. And I already know it was probably hectic because it was like a little bit of a tight space as well. And there was a lot of food going on. Yeah. But Hamza, that's why I appreciate you, man. I put him in that spot because I trusted him. I knew he would be able to handle it. Hamza, how was it for you? And, how you been, man?
Man, alhamdulillah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Can't complain. It's the holy month of Ramadan, energy's up. Everything's up right now. But the game, alhamdulillah, man, like, it was nice, bro. Like, yeah, there was a lot of customers coming in and out, but I handled the situation. Like, I work in a restaurant. It comes easy to me. So I handle customers in and out. I was yelling at them. I'm like, get off your phone. Let's go. Get to work, man. It's a real job, you know what I'm saying? But, I had to get the customers right and can't let them wait too long.
Yeah, hey, Hamza did a great job. I was watching him throughout the whole day, throughout the whole night, especially with preparation and stuff. And then at the end with cleaning up, he did his thing. I expected that from him, and he performed well.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Salaudeen. I'm sure you know this as an organizer of games. It's very important to put a nice team around you. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when you look at the whole event, I would still say that we were shorthanded in terms of like team people. Like that's one thing that I learned. I was like, man, we probably needed even more hands on deck. But these guys, everyone held their own ground, and they're young. Hamza is 18. Yusuf is 19, or Hamza is 18 or 19. 18, right, Hamza?
Yeah, I'm turning 19. Yeah,
turning 19. Yusuf is 19, turning 20. It's like, or he just turned 20, or Yusuf, right? You just turned 19, turning 20. So it's like young fellas, and if I had to do it all over again, I probably would give him a little bit more help. But alhamdulillah for everything. So thank you guys for sharing. It is Ramadan.
Good job, man. Good job. It's not easy running a sporting event concession stand, man. And Brother Hamza, if you guys raised $26,000, a lot of it is probably his work.
For sure.
So we got to give him some credit,
for sure. If we were in the studio, we have a round of applause thing, so we give it to him right now, but we're not. So Hamza, you're gonna have to wait off on that till next week or something. All right. So with that said, Salaudeen, thank you again for being here today. We're here to learn about Islamic Games. So Islamic Games, they travel, all across the country. They move from state to state. And, for those that are watching, for they're wondering like, oh, when are they going to come here? Well, I believe it's July 27th and 28th. They'll be coming to the Midwest in Chicago. It should be fun. So first of all, can we start off with the basic of what is Islamic Games all about and what made you want to come up with this program?
So the Islamic Games, thanks for the question. The Islamic Games, we've been around for the past, I would say, almost 25 years. And it started in Queens, New York, by a bunch of brothers at a masjid who were very sports oriented and wanted to play sports, similar to you guys. I'm sure you guys, probably at some stage of the game are playing with each other and thinking of, competitions and so on. So we did that. We had guys who were playing basketball, track and field, and so on. And we organized a little event where we can, have some scrimmage and play with each other and have a good time. Lo and behold, after that first year.
Sorry about that, that's me. I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, after that first year, we had other masjids joining in that wanted to be part of it, and this was all in Queens. It became something to talk about and kind of get involved. It quickly grew, of course, so we had to go to Jersey where there were better facilities. And alhamdulillah, for the past 25 years, we've been doing it consistently. Of course, not during the COVID years. And we've competed up to 2,500 athletes in one weekend. We usually start on a Friday night and we go until Sunday evening. And the secret sauce of what makes Islamic Games so exciting is that we do multiple events. We do basketball, volleyball, soccer, cricket, flag football, softball. We do track and field, swimming, martial arts. So it's like almost like an Olympic kind of setting that you're entering into, where you might be going to play basketball, and lo and behold, you're seeing guys with their gi on. You got tennis players running around. You've got soccer players waiting for their games. So you're looking at 2,000 athletes just running every direction, trying to get a win going. So with that, and then we not only compete in multiple events, but we compete multiple gender, male and female, in all ages, and again all ages. So you get a healthy dose of athletes in multiple generation. So in some cases, you might have a father who is 35 playing soccer, and his son is playing in the U13 basketball tournament, and we have a lot of instances like that. So the what makes Islamic Games a little better than not better, but a little different from other events is just that, is the diversity. And with the diversity of sports and diversity of age and the diversity of events that we have, there comes the diversity of nationality. So you might have Yemeni who are coming for soccer, then you'll have a bunch of Indonesians who are coming for volleyball and soccer. Then you'll have the Russians and Uzbeks and Pakistanis and Caribbean and so on. Last year, for example, the finals for volleyball went to an Uzbek and an Indonesian team, that were competing and you've got so much diversity, and that helps a whole lot in building that community and that excitement. So when you go to an event, most likely you see that it's a tournament kind of setting. Ours is more of an experience that we are trying to develop for the Muslim athletes, and alhamdulillah, to a large extent, people have been coming back again and again to compete. They move up the categories, but they compete and have a great time. This year, alhamdulillah, like I said, we've been doing the Islamic Games in New Jersey primarily. Over the last year or two, we've decided to expand on the games. So this year, 2024, not only are we in New Jersey, but we're in Brampton, Toronto area in Canada. We're also in Chicago and in Dallas. Dallas is our first game for this year, which is on the 27th of April. And again, we're doing all the events, same rules, same kind of format at all the location. And I think that's, alhamdulillah, that sort of structure that we've created works well for the Islamic Games.
No, that's I love that. And so my question to you is, like, when people go there, do you think like they feel like they're representing more of like their their background, or do you feel like they're more representing like the state that they're coming from? Like, what do you think that they show a little bit more pride in? Like, do you think it's like, hey, we got to go there and represent the state of Michigan, or be like, hey, you know what, we're going to go represent, who we are, Yemenis or Pakistani or, whoever it may be. Like, what kind of vibe do you get when it comes to that situation?
Hey, there's a lot of those vibes. By the way, if you guys can keep the screen with all of you on,
okay.
It's better for me. That way I'm speaking to someone. Because if I'm speaking to myself, I'm like, what do I say next? But if when I get the eye connection, it makes me flow a little better. But here, I mean, absolutely. I think people are going to the Islamic Games to showcase their league. So Islamic Games is made up of leagues. There's hundreds of leagues across the United States, and they come to the Islamic Games to compete. Now, and the leagues want to show what they've been doing all year long. So you've got in the New York City area, you have like maybe 5 leagues, New Jersey another 3 or 4 leagues, Connecticut a league, Pennsylvania leagues, and they come and they kind of compete. In Islamic Games, we don't make everybody branded Islamic Games. We make them branded with their league or their team or their school. So that's one set of players. There are another set of teams that come from Islamic schools, and they come, loud and ready. They come with their banners and all their spirit, and they come to represent their school. So and then you've got in the soccer area, I think that's where it becomes a little the nationality comes in, because you've got the Uzbeks and the Russians, you've got the strong Arab teams, you got the Sudanese teams that come, and that's when I think in soccer more than any other sports at the Islamic Games, that's when the nationality things come, things kind of have a role to play, basically.
For sure. Hamza, what are your thoughts on all of this that you're listening to right now?
Honestly, no, like what he's saying is like, it's a really great idea. Honestly, I'm actually thinking about going to Chicago once he comes on here.
Yeah.
I heard about the arm wrestling thing. I ain't gonna lie, bro. 4 arms, bro. I never miss a single day, man. Like every single person I arm wrestle, I beat him, bro.
Listen, when Hamza, if he does decide to go, I just want to let you know he does not represent Oz Media. He does not represent the state of Michigan, and he does not represent the Yemeni. So now I'm joking. I got belief in Hamza, and anything that he does. He definitely has my backing. I'm really interested. Inshallah. We never know. Inshallah, what times are going to be 4 months from now, but inshallah, if everything is right and it's in the summer, it's only a weekend. It's the right situation. We definitely might jump in, just as a team, we can figure it out. That's what I was going to ask. Like, what are the fees? Like, what people look at, like, for to join these games, like what are they looking at, when it comes down to the fees?
Yeah. So of course, our registration system is made up of individual events and team events. So team events, of course, is like basketball, soccer, volleyball, and so on. Individual events are like track and taekwondo and tennis and pickleball and all that kind of stuff. For team events, the registration is $295 per team, and that's for the entire team. Whether you're playing whatever sport you want to get registered for, it's $295, and for individual events, it's $45, and the $45 covers, I think, up to 5 events that you can compete at the Islamic Games. Nice. So if you want to do arm wrestling like Hamza, and you want to do the fitness course, there's a fitness course that's very exciting, that's taking incredible traction. I don't know if you guys know Rip Right. Rip Right Calisthenics.
Yeah.
Well, he's running our fitness course at Islamic Games. It's 10 events you have to do on a course. And all is like push-ups and squats and jumping a bar and lifting a 35-pound bar and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, the study is $45 for individual events, $295 for team events.
Nice. And for, like, instance, basketball, how many games are they promised if they do the $295? Like, is there like a limit of how many games? Is it a 2-game elimination? Like, how does that work?
No, all of our events, and I guess we if you look at Islamic Games and all of our rules and everything else, we're pretty much standard in how we structure our tournaments. So for basketball, all team events, every team gets to play 3 games.
Okay.
In a round robin round. After that initial preliminary round of 3 games, the top 8 from each category moves to quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. Nice. And we find that to be, guys think that 3 games is not a lot, but you play 3 games in a day,
you're exhausted.
You get exhausted, especially for things like flag football on a hot day.
You know what? That's another question. So flag football, is it 7-on-7?
It's 7v7.
Yeah, that's the game. That's the game that we might have to definitely put ourselves in, because I feel like we can definitely hang in flag football. But in terms of flag football, though, 7v7, but how many players are in the roster? Like, can you have 10 or is there a limit?
I think the limit is it's not a hard and fast rule, but it's about 14 to 15.
Oh, okay.
We give you enough to say, you've got some defense, you've got some offense.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just asking, definitely interested. I think that'd be fun and it'd be a nice little content that we can pick up too. Yusuf, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
Now you got me interested in the full flag football. I'll be down for sure to play that. And also Hamza arm wrestling, you're not going to beat me. If I match up against you.
Bro, what?
Hey, if you guys were together, we could have done it right now. We could have.
Yeah.
You guys off.
He don't want that. He don't want that, bro.
Live. We get back. That would have been funny.
Right.
That would have been funny. So going back to you, Salaudeen, is so the way the games work, it's basically like a weekend. It's like Friday and Saturday, or is it Saturday and Sunday? Like, is it
Saturday and Sunday? We start from 8:00 in the morning. Our team are usually there from 7 a.m. to start checking in athletes. So we start. Some event starts at 8. Some event will start, of course, later. But we start from 8 a.m. and we go until 9 p.m. Both days until we find winners. And we provide medals and trophies. If you see our social media or any of our pictures, you'll see some really nice, cool stuff that we've done in the past. With our
for sure. And I'm assuming everybody gets trophies. The winners gets trophies, and
correct.
Like, how do y'all handle like jerseys and equipment? Like, do we have to bring our own jerseys, or how does that happen?
Yes. So, like I said before, right, we want teams to kind of represent who they are, whether they're from a league or a school or a club or a masjid or whatever it is. So we require teams to be uniformed.
Okay.
We don't provide uniform. We have contractors with us. In case a team wants uniform, we will just forward that information to them, and they can connect and create uniform. But uniform is required. And you do get a technical foul if you're not at minimum color coded, right?
Yeah.
If everybody's wearing brown, for example, that's fine, But if you want to have jerseys with your logo and numbers and all that kind of stuff, that is of course added. We don't provide it, like I said, but it's required.
And you guys have like referees, or is it you guys reffing the games?
No, all of our events we have certified officials. All of our events. We don't skip. Now, the idea of the Islamic Games is really to provide a wholesome sports experience that's enjoyable, that is fair, and that allows players to feel as though they were given an equal chance, a level playing field. If you and I are reffing, this thing is gonna go every direction, and nobody's gonna have fun. So we have officials for every event, and officials is probably one of our highest cost at the Islamic Games, because we want everybody to have good fun, healthy fun, fair fun, and the only way you can do that is by getting officials that are that are not at minimum not seen as taken aside, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They just come blow the whistle any direction.
No, I think that's a great point, because a lot of people do, officials are important. At the end of the day, they're going to come out there and compete. They're going to want people, like you said, make it fair. And that's all that matters. So, my flag football question, going back to that, like, we got these guys, right? So we have a little bit of an age gap between me and them. So is that like an 18 and older? And then, like you said, is like a 30 and older, or how does that work in terms of
flag football? We only have one open category.
Okay. And what's that?
It's open.
It's open category.
Yeah,
nice.
You could be 13 and compete, and you could be 55 and compete.
Nice.
At some stage, we are going to break it up into a youth and adult until we get enough teams that are showing willingness. Among the youth, there are a lot of players that do flag football, like the younger kids, like maybe 15 and below.
Yeah.
But I know, like the 16 and above, they have an interest in that. So. Our categories right now are open. We're looking to compete in Chicago, a maximum of 16 flag football teams, and in New Jersey we're doing 24 teams.
Guys, we might have to do this, fellas. We might have to do this flag football. Like, don't get me wrong, we play basketball, but I know there's some great hoopers out there. I think football, we can hang. We could definitely hang. Even as a family, as an Oz Media team, I think that we can. we can,
Absolutely.
we have enough players just on our roster alone that we can hang. We got ourselves nice weapons, and so we might have to look into this, man. I'm actually interested because we haven't done anything like this as a team. So go ahead, Yusuf.
Are you the quarterback?
Nah.
Oh boy.
Why is he putting me on the spot like this, Salaudeen, man? This guy gonna ask me if I'm the quarterback. He knows the answer. But with that,
Hamza has the forearms, man.
yeah.
Hamza has the forearms.
Hamza, if he throws a football, it's gonna hit the tree. Even if there's no tree there, it's gonna hit a tree somewhere, right? So that's no. All jokes aside, first of all, again, thank you to Salaudeen. It's been a great conversation so far. Take a quick pause break. I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, the Balkan House restaurant. The Balkan House is famous for their doner kebab sandwich, but did you know that the Balkan House now serves breakfast? Did you also know that all their food is 100% halal? The Balkan House now also have 2 food trucks, so you can book your next party or event with the Balkan House on wheels. So if you're looking for a nice place to eat with friendly service and great prices, look no further than the Balkan House restaurant. 2 locations, one in Hamtramck, one in Ferndale. We appreciate them and all their support. By the way, Salaudeen, Hamza T actually works at Balkan House. That's the restaurant he was referring to. He goes to college and works there as well.
Is that Turkish? Is that Turkish?
It's actually Balkan, so it's your Bosnian/European.
Bosnians, got you.
Yeah, Bosnian. We got a very strong Bosnian population here in the Hamtramck, Metro Detroit area.
Well, just so you know, and this is for Hamza's information, Bosnians are really good at arm wrestling. The guy who won it like a few years ago, he won like 5 years in a row. An older guy too, but he had some huge forearms, and he came in. I forgot his name, brother Yusuf, I think his name was. And he's an imam right now. But he was an incredibly strong guy. So watch out for the Bosnians and their arm wrestling.
So you guys are saying
what's the age gap?
Yeah.
The arm wrestling, I think we have like a youth category and an older category, or an open category. So it'll be like maybe a U17, and then we'll have an 18 and above.
Put me part of the 17U, man.
Wait, real quick. I'm sorry. So with arm wrestling, you're saying the larger the forearms, like that you'll win?
I mean, most of the time, yeah. Most of the time, like just because you have big forearms doesn't mean like you're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? You have to have muscle. That's where it comes, muscle.
You gotta have shoulders too, bros, because arm wrestling is some arm, but a lot of the shoulder too, right?
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah. We had the Brazilian champion a few years ago.
Nice.
The Brazilian, and he at that time I think he was the world champion, but the New Jersey Arm Wrestling Association brought him to do the kind of judging of the arm wrestling at Islamic Games. That was pretty fun. He had huge arms though. I mean, like, probably around 28, 30.
Nice. Awesome. So Islamic Games, I mean, I kind of picked up on it because, there's a lot of Islamically based people, but why Islamic Games? Why not just regular games? Like where does the Islamic part come in, or how is that involved?
Well, I mean, to be honest, the reason why we started it with Islamic Games back in the days was because there was the Olympic Games. Remember that?
Yeah.
Olympic Games, and I think this year's Olympics as well in France.
Yeah.
So we wanted to play on that. So to play with Olympic and Games, we came up with Islamic Games.
Nice.
And it kind of stuck around. People liked it. But the idea of the Islamic Games and why we still refer to it as Islamic Games is because it's really meant to bring as many Muslims as possible together to compete, have fun, learn from each other. It is also meant to elevate sports within the Muslim community. As you guys know, more and more masjids are emphasizing sports more than anything else. You have a youth night is sports. You have a Ramadan late night, something is sports. And so a lot of masjids are using sports as a way of retaining youth at the masjid, as well as community development, social development, and so on. So while masjids are doing that and leagues are doing their thing and Muslim schools are also very big on sports, they needed an opportunity to come and showcase their skills. So and there's no opportunity really out there where multiple leagues or communities or schools can come and compete. So Islamic Games provides that platform. More importantly, I think we also try as much as we can to ensure that leagues are coming and schools are coming, and we can celebrate these guys because they're the backbone of what we're doing. Without leagues and Muslim sports program, we're not going anywhere. So we are out there celebrating them. We are out there ensuring that the community is cheering them on, and ultimately to ensure that whatever the masjids are doing and the communities are doing, we can add to that, expand on it, and grow and continue to grow that.
And that was one of my next questions, like what is the overall goal of it? So I mean, you kind of touched on it, but maybe like the whole goal is to obviously keep growing and keep bringing people together. That's pretty much what it is.
I think more than that is the Islamic Games, as stated on our website, is really to provide a very professional and structured sporting experience for Muslims. And by the way, the Islamic Games is not only for Muslims, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too, by the way.
The Islamic Game is open. We do get about maybe 2 to 3% that are non-Muslim who come to play soccer or in one of those teams, So we want to give Muslim a very professional, very structured sports experience. I grew up in sports. I've been involved with AAU for a very long time, and I've seen how professional these guys operate. Like clockwork. All year long. And people go there, they feel like they're there at the Olympics.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give Muslims that same experience, and that's really the motivation behind us getting together, building a strong team, getting sponsors, building technology into what we're doing, so that when someone shows up at the game, they're like, "Wow, is this what you guys are doing? It's incredible." So that is one, and of course, like I said before, a big part of what we want to do is to continue to motivate communities and Muslims who are involved in sports. A reasoning, a purpose to keep going.
No, I love it. I'm excited. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, inshallah, the goal is to definitely maybe put a team together. I'm trying to think on the top of my head of right now as you're talking, like how we build this roster, as you're talking. So, but I just gotta make sure we are all healthy and everything else heading into that situation. Yeah. But again, Chicago is a nice little road trip, nice fun time. We get an Airbnb and just have a good time. Nice weekend getaway and enjoy ourselves as a group. So inshallah khair. I think that would be a lot of fun. With that said, by the way, Hamza and Yusuf, if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot.
Yeah, of course.
Any questions? I'm knocking them out one by one, but I want to make sure that you guys.
Oh, wait, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Yusuf.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so you said like with the football, it's like happening across one weekend, right?
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. So you said 3 games each day?
No, it's minimum of 3 games that you play, and then if you enter the final 8, I'm assuming you play 3 games on Saturday, and then the final 8 play on Sunday. Is that how it works?
Not necessarily. Okay. Some of those preliminary games will flow over to the next day, possibly. And since you asked that question too, and we get this question a lot about can I do multiple events? Can I do flag football and basketball? Of course you can, but we don't encourage it because all of our events are simultaneous. Everything happens at the same time. So while basketball is happening, there's flag football, there is softball, there is other events that are happening simultaneously. You could get away with the individual events because those are the window for executing those events are much smaller, but the team events are all happening simultaneously. And we've had we try not to have teams enter multiple events. There'll be conflict of the schedule.
Yeah.
Man, we can make this like a family trip, and just head out over there and have a good time and, squad up, The question is, Yusuf, does Hamza make the roster? Yes or no? That's the biggest question right now. That's in my. As you can see, we like messing around with Hamza. Hamza's a great sport. And I love Hamza, a great guy. We appreciate him and all that he does. And then, by the way, Salaudeen, if you have any questions for us, let us know. Feel free to shoot away anything that you may have to ask us. So I guess moving on is, what are some feedback that you've gotten back from people? Obviously, how long have you been doing this? You said, I know you mentioned it already.
It's been more than 25 years.
Wow,
in New Jersey. Yeah, I was in high school, like 9th grade, when this all started.
Wow, I didn't know it was that long.
My older brother started it, and I took it over. I studied marketing and advertising. So in 2004 or 5, that's when I took it over, and I said, hey, let me take it to another level. Because by that time I gained a lot of experience and access and resources. So we rebranded it. We put a lot more focus on technology and all that kind of stuff. And here it is today. A very successful event. But what was your question again? Sorry.
Yeah, well, some feedback that you've gotten from people.
Yeah. Well, it has always been positive. It has always been positive because it's sports, man. If you execute well, you get good reviews. And we know that because people are coming year after year after year after year. Not only are they coming, but they're bringing their kids with them. So you might have a guy, and this is a real case, and it's many, many stories like this. We've had, I've had one brother last year who's a doctor playing in the soccer men's division. And his son was playing basketball in the U13 division, And here's a guy that. But what's interesting is that this brother who's a doctor, he played in the U10 soccer like 15 years before that. Yeah. So he's back and he's like, I'm so happy to compete now in the adult category, and I once was in the middle school division, And there's a lot of stories. I mean, there's one guy that's on our website with a lot of medals who did track back then. I think that was like 2008 or whatever. And he called us the other day and said, "Hey, I'm much older now, but I can still run, and I'll be there." So you got all these stories, but we've never had negatives. We've had a few negatives when it comes to some of our rules and some of our, officials making some rulings and all that kind of stuff. And that happens in every event. But as much as we can, we try to correct it. One of the things that we had in last year in Canada was we had a really strong soccer team. They were really, really good, but they weren't the best of Muslims in their team. They cursed and they harassed the officials, nonstop. But they ended up winning. Right, we saw that as a red flag, so we changed the rules on certain things. So a technical foul, if you were to push someone or curse someone or say something racist to someone, it counts as a foul that goes against your standing. So if you won a game and it's two point and someone lost the game and they got 0. But you got a foul, you just got 1 point on your standing.
Wow, I like that.
Come out. So because the team that came in, I think 2nd or 3rd, they were the best behaved team. They played well, best behaved team, but unfortunately they did not win. And we saw that as a red flag, and we take action. And that's only one of many things that we've looked at and rectified and figure out was the best approach to make everyone be comfortable after the games.
That's important too. And that's why, with the title like Islamic Games, I think that's important to like make sure you put that out there to people that, it's not just, it's there's a reason why you guys labeled it the way you did. You want to show people, that, Islam is a religion of peace, and, we respect one another, and that's what it's all about. So do you guys do lectures too or anything like that, or no? Like, there's no like lectures involved?
The Islamic Games, and by the way, Islamic Games is managed by an organization called Islamic Games of North America, which is a registered nonprofit in the US and Canada. And we're independent. We're not part of any any other organization. We do have national partners like MAS. MAS is our partners in the US, as well as YM and a few other organizations. We you know we the Islamic Games. I lost my thought. What did you ask again? Sorry.
Basically, like giving lectures and stuff.
Oh, so yeah, so we are fundamentally a sports organization, and we focus on the sports itself. We find it kind of weird that you come to a sporting event and you're given a lecture. If you want to do that, you have the ICNA convention, the mass convention, where there's back-to-back lectures all day. We want to give Muslim a healthy Islamic environment for sports. Yes, we do have some speeches, but not a lot. We don't go overboard. We have like after Salatul Dhuhr and Asr, you'll have a 10-minute speak message of some sort from a local masjid or sheikh.
Nice. No, that's good.
But at the end of the day, I mean, the young people are not gonna. Young people, I mean, there's so many games and so many things that are happening. Such an exciting environment, and apart from the official kind of messaging that we do, there's other people who come there and they have their own little picnic and they do their own little speeches and all that kind of stuff. But we don't impose a series of lectures to anyone, because it's a sporting event where you come in for sports and you want to compete and you want to have a great time in something that's halal, right? Sports is halal.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. I think this is awesome. I think that we can definitely load up with a nice team. Hamza, are you okay over there? You look like Hamza's worried. Are you worried about the arm wrestling or what, man? Don't worry about it, Hamza.
You'll be all right. To the squad, man.
Hey, man, bro. Hey, man. If I get put in a 17U, I'll be happy, bro. 18.
Yeah, 18U, Hamza's gonna be tough, man. You got it.
I just thought of my journey, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you said 18 and up, right?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
Like arm wrestling.
Yeah, arm wrestling. There's a junior and an open category.
Yeah. Hamza, I would probably avoid that situation, but I mean, Hamza's the type of person, he doesn't care. Hamza doesn't care. Like, he likes the challenge. So that's why I respect Hamza. So he'll do it just to challenge himself and see what he needs to work on. So I respect Hamza for that. But do what you got to do. Obviously we'll be traveling together. So if you're already there, you might as well join whatever it is that you want to join. With that said, keeping things rolling. You know what? Let's give a shout out to another sponsor right quick, Yusuf.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, we're gonna give a shout out to Sidr Bees, Yusuf. If you can pop up their logo right quick. Sidr Bees is a remarkable company that stands at the forefront of the honey industry with an unwavering commitment to quality, being authentic, and sustainability. Sidr Bees has carved its name as a trusted provider of premium honey products. The company's dedication to preserving the purity of honey is evident in every jar they produce. Sidr Bees sets a standard that goes beyond taste. It's a brand that captures nature's essence and brings it to discerning customers who appreciate the true goodness that honey offers. Sidr Bees is not just a honey company. It's a testament to the beauty of nature and the passion to deliver excellence in every drop. You can purchase your product from www.sidrbees.com or call them by phone 1347-845-5804. Shout out to Osama and everyone over there at Sidr Bees. We appreciate them and their support. With that said, we're winding down to the last third of the show. Salaudeen, I just want to ask you now is, I know you kind of touched on this, but where do you want to see Islamic Games? Like, I mean, I know you're kind of focused on the North America. Can you see this going worldwide? Like, what is the Islamic Games mindset in the next 5 years? You can say, where do you want to see this? Just keep growing in the U.S. and North America? Where do you want us to go?
Well, I think we've got a sort of a idea where we want to take it. For sure, in the United States and Canada, we probably want to expand to one or two more cities in Canada. In the US, we're looking at maybe 2 more cities, probably a Miami and probably an LA or somewhere in the West, to have Islamic Games, and we've had interest for that. Of course, MAS is out there, and the MAS has asked us to go out there and see what we can figure out and get done. We can do that. But more importantly, I think we want to create an Islamic sports industry or a Muslim sports industry. We are about 4 million, well, almost 10 million Muslims in North America, of which probably around 3 to 4 million of us are playing sports at some level in some sport somewhere. We all are drinking Coke. We're all wearing Under Armours. We're all wearing Nikes. Then they need to start paying us. So we're working with a bunch of leagues and a bunch of Muslim sports organizations to kind of put together a massive fund for Muslim sports and Muslim athletes. For example, Hamza wants to become a top-notch international arm wrestler, right? He would need some kind of funding, some kind of support, some kind of mechanism. We want to build that. We want to create that opportunity for Hamza and for Ahmed and for anyone else who wants to take sports as a serious level. Now, being a professional sports athlete and gives you a loud voice. Look at Khabib, right? Look at Muhammad Ali. Look at Kyrie Irving. Look at all these guys. An imam, like I always tell people, an imam could say free Palestine 1,000 times in a masjid, and only 1,000 people hear it or 10,000 people hear it. The minute Khabib says free Palestine or Kyrie Irving says, free Palestine, you're looking at 100 million people in one shot. So we want to create more of them. We want to give an opportunity. We want to create a pipeline where more Muslims can become more professional athletes. There are many professional athletes in America that are Muslims, and there are many that's outside. We want to give them a comfort area where they can express themselves without any kind of consequence. So that's part of our vision. Another big part of our vision is actually to support masjids and communities and leagues in their growth and development of their sports program. It's going to need funding. It's going to need people. It's going to need skills. If we could train 500 new soccer coaches a year, and they go back into the community, that's 500 new teams, every year, because they're going to go back to their masjid and they're going to bring, a dozen guys and let's play soccer. And we play in our local leagues, So the idea is not to do events and just have people have a great time, which is okay, but we have to develop the infrastructure across the board in growing sports and developing and actually using sports more effectively for our dawah and for our development.
I love that answer, man. And if we were, like I said, we're in the studio, you'd be getting a round of applause right now, Salaudeen. That was a great, and I'm with it, and I think that's something that's huge. If you, like I said, I keep mentioning this, like if there's any way that we can help and support on our end, let us know. We are here. We're all one team at the end of the day, and we're here to help. And I'm glad that we were able to connect with one another and make this show happen. But more importantly, now in the future, we can connect and do events and do things together. Just like with Misa, I met them. They reached out on their behalf, and now it's like now we got that connection. And so, that's the kind of stuff that we need, right? Like in order for us to get things done, it's us having to work together as a group. And as one team to knock things out and put together things like that you just mentioned, and I think that's important, especially for all.
That's the big picture. That's the big picture, right? I mean, anybody can play basketball and soccer, but can we really elevate? Only way we can do that is by expanding what we're doing and enabling communities to develop their own sports program in a very professional way. As like you see AAU, for example. I've been involved in AAU. AAU has literally probably like 2 million members, across America, and all they're doing is sports, and they're organized. They have a system and all that kind of stuff. So it's keeping a lot of youth engaged and off the streets. AAU, we need to keep them in the musalla and as spiritually in tune as possible.
Great points. Great points. So how can people can you give us the dates that's coming up for the Islamic Games? I mean, I know we kind of mentioned Chicago because we're from the Midwest, we're from Michigan. So what are the next dates that are coming up, and how can people sign up for these events?
So Dallas, which is our first game, is on July 27th and 28th in Dallas in Colleyville.
You said July, or I thought it's
April. So let's say July. April 27th and 28th.
Yeah.
After that, we head to Jersey on June 8th and 9th for the Jersey games, and on June 29 and 30, which is the big Canada Day, we are working with the city of Brampton to launch the games there. And on July 27th and 28th in Chicago. So we've got a packed agenda. And as these games unfold, there's a snowball effect. So each game gets bigger and bigger as you keep going.
So it's probably not a good thing on our end, because we're going to have probably some of the best competition in July 27th, 28th. They're all want to be like,
you're going to have there are teams that goes to all these games too, right? We've had teams from Jersey that would be going to Chicago, or maybe going to Dallas and those kind of things. And you asked about how do you register and all that kind of, all that's on our website. Our website has a ton of information, from rules to detailed rules, of course, for everything, registration. We also have an app. You can download our app,
Nice.
the Islamic Games app, both on Android and Apple, and it does everything that the website does and more. So we're ready, and we look forward to working with you guys, to see how we can make the Midwest, a destination that's massive and enormous and impactful.
Yeah, what's the best one that you get the best turnout? I wonder, where is that at? Which one usually gives you the best turnout? Is it the East Coast, the down south, or the Midwest?
I think for 2024, it's probably going to be New Jersey, and possibly Brampton.
Okay.
I would say Chicago would probably be the second or third. It could be second or third, depending how Brampton does.
Yeah.
But
So
Chicago
Brampton
has a lot of sports.
I'm sorry, Brampton is the newest one, right? Like, this is, y'all haven't done it before over there, or what?
We've done Brampton last year for the first time.
Okay.
We introduced it. We've never done it in Chicago.
That's Canada, right?
We've never done it in Dallas. So these are two new cities.
Okay. Yeah, it's
But
Canada.
but the sports infrastructure in Dallas and Chicago is a lot more advanced than even in New Jersey. It's just that we've been around in New Jersey for a longer time.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, we're gonna have to get ready, boys. We're gonna have to get ready for this and prepare ourselves. Before we give him the weekend motivation, we're basically Salaudeen. This is where we try to give advice to people. We call it weekend motivation, but basically it's motivation that happens on the weekend, or else they can take it with them for the rest of their lives. Hamza T and Yusuf T, if you have any questions, prepare those. Again, I just want to give a shout out one more time to all of our sponsors: the Balkan House, Juice Box, Qahwah House, BC Adhesives, Specialty Medical Center, Hanley International Academy, and Sidr Bees. And again, you guys can follow us on all of our socials: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all under Oz Media. You'll be able to listen to the show later on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. Also, I don't think I mentioned TikTok, but you can listen to this or follow us on TikTok as well. Thank you for all of you that are here today. By the way, we appreciate you and for your support. Hamza T, Yusuf T, do you have any questions before we dish off the weekend motivation to Salaudeen?
No, I just want to say a quick comment. I'm for sure check out the website, and I'm
downloading the app for sure. I mean, I think
I was gonna say download the app as well, because you said there's more information in the app, but similar stuff like that. But yeah, man, I flag football.
Look forward to. Do you guys know One Athletics?
One Athletics sounds very familiar.
Very familiar.
Is that Dearborn area?
They're our partners in Chicago. They're managing our flag football and basketball tournaments.
Okay.
It's a Muslim brother who runs a tournament company called One Athletics, and so we've partnered with them to execute for us.
Oh yeah, awesome. I found them.
You said you want to add Yasin too?
Yeah, we're gonna see, man. I mean, I don't want to go super young. You know, I got some fellas my age too that can still ball out too. So we're gonna have to, yeah, we're gonna have to mix up this team the right way. But Yassine is already in my mind as well, Yusuf. But the problem is it's in July 27, 28, and I know he's gonna have to go off to college around that time. So we'll see if he's gonna have time to even do that. And you gotta always remember, Yusuf, you gotta figure out like transportation and everything else, like. I don't want all young people and we all got to fit in one car. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure we got people that can drive and stuff. So with that said, weekend motivation. Salaudeen, why is it important for people to live a healthy lifestyle?
Well, why not? Why not live a healthy lifestyle? I think at the end of the day, our body and the health that were born with and we was given to us as an amana from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, our body is the housing for our spirit and our soul. And if the body is not strong and the body is not capable of ensuring good spiritual development, if it can't enable good social development, it limits our ability to maximize our own purpose and what we can achieve out of our life. A healthy body can do a lot more, not only for himself but his community and his family. There is no when we go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we want to take a body, we want to give back to Allah a body that he gave us, nothing less, probably more but not less. We want to ensure it's worth giving back, and we do not abuse the body that was given to us. More importantly, living in America, a healthy body, a healthy mind, a healthy spirit, it helps us to save on medical costs, for example. We don't have to go to hospitals, we don't have to do this, we eat well and those kind of things. And I'm glad that you asked this question, because the Islamic Games, our motto is strong inside, strong outside, meaning that you cannot separate the body from the spirit, and you cannot separate the spirit from the body, and both must be strong. A strong body with a weak spirit is as useless as a strong spirit with a weak body. So, and we all know the famous hadith where the Prophet said that a strong Muslim is superior to a weak Muslim, and whether that meant spiritually or physically, we know it applies to both. But at the end of the day, health is a healthy body, healthy mind takes us further than an unhealthy mind and body.
Give that a round of applause. That was a great response. Definitely going to probably make that the clip of the day as well. We like to post the clip later on social media. I don't know if you, I'll make sure I tag you guys. And if you want to even collaborate on the clip, we can make you as a collaborator as well on Instagram as well. But Hamza T, Yusuf T, any final questions, final comments?
Man, you know what, bro? I'm about to start training my forearms, bro. I got months, man.
He's in his forearms,
training, bro. Hey, I'm coming. I'm gonna win it, bro.
Please,
if I put my mind up, I'm gonna win it, man.
Hamza, if you could beat me, you could beat anybody.
Bro, I'm definitely beating you. You're not eating, bro. You were not a competition to me, bro.
Salaudeen, listen, you have my contact information. Let this not be the last time we speak leading up to the games. You know me, I'm probably going to have 101 questions for you coming into it if we do decide to be joining it. But either way, I think it's going to be a great event to even cover as Oz Media. We can come there and, cover it, like, get clips or even, stream the championship game live if you'd like for us to do that. Like, some cool things that we can do as a group, to raise more awareness of what you guys are doing, the awesome things that you guys are all doing over there. So it's something that I'm interested in. I feel like as a group as well, we deserve to go out.
Absolutely. And you're welcome. And let us know what support you need from our end to make that a reality.
Sounds good, brother. Any final comments from your end, Salaudeen? Any final words you want to say?
No, except I want to say thank you to yourself, Brother Omar, and Hamza and Yusuf, right? Yusuf. Really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your Saturday to spend and to learn about Islamic games and hopefully, expand on it. Really appreciate the time that and support. I know we reached out to you, and you were always willing to talk about Islamic games. So we really appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you at the games and working with you from now until then to see how maybe we can build a platform for you.
Inshallah. Sounds great. Let us know what you need from our end. We'll keep in touch for sure. Like I said, we both have each other's contact information. I know these guys are excited. I can see us having like a little Oz Media trip, man, and just heading out over there, fellas. They deserve it, man. They work hard. These guys support the the cause, and so that's the least I can do is have us like go out for a little trip and
Absolutely.
have a nice little vacation as a team while competing. It's something that we all love doing, and so it's something that I can see us doing, inshallah. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all who tuned in or will eventually watch. We hope that you learned something today. We hope that you can join. Again, the Chicago one, which is, I believe, it's the closest one to us here in Michigan, will be July 27th.
Or Brampton.
Yeah, how far is Brunson? How far is Brunson from here?
Brampton is probably about what, 5, 6, 7 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's very similar to Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, almost the same.
I mean, which one has a little bit more competition? We might have to go pick the one with the least competition.
Probably Chicago might have. I know for soccer, definitely. I think Canada might have more competition for soccer. For flag, there's no flag football in Canada.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Canada's three and a half hours away. Brampton.
Okay. We don't play. Yeah, but we don't play soccer. But anybody else, feel free to join. Of course, I think that'll be a nice trip for you and your team if you're listening. Especially soccer. We have a very strong, Hamtramck and Dearborn has a very strong soccer community here. There's like a bunch of teams, and they're really good too. So I think that they should definitely jump on that for sure. Good. So again, thank you, Salaudeen. We appreciate you. Yusuf and Hamza, thank you for joining. This was season 3, episode 23 of the Movement Podcast. We hope that you all enjoyed this episode. We'll be back next week in person. But we appreciate everyone that was here today, and be safe, and Ramadan Kareem to everyone that is listening. You as well, Salaudeen, Ramadan Kareem to you and the family, and we'll see you next time, inshallah.
All right, thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
All right. Have a good day, man.